My face feels so... Pray for me.
Pray for me. Madura for me. Pray I find my way.
Hey FamBam, welcome back. I hope you're doing fantastic. If you're new to my channel, welcome. My name is Esther, MsTopacJay. So in today's video, I'm going to be reviewing the new NYX Can't Stop Won't Stop primer. I want to review the Can't Stop Won't Stop foundation as well, but I don't have that at the moment. So once I have that, I will post it. I will do a foundation test on it for you babes, okay? So if you're interested in seeing a dedicated review on the new NYX Can't Stop Won't Stop primer, which is supposed to be a very, very matte primer, be sure to keep watching this video. Make sure to subscribe if you yet to join the FamBam and turn on the notification bell down below. Okay, without further ado, let's jump straight into this video. All right, so this new NYX Can't Stop Won't Stop primer, I can't say that word right, I don't know what's going on. This Can't Stop Won't Stop primer just launched here in Australia this November, so that's why I'm just finally getting my hands on it. NYX invited a handful of us to their headquarters a couple of weeks ago to just play with some new products, including the new foundation and the new sugar trip line. Like, there was a lot of things that we played with there, and on that day they gifted this to us, so that's how I was able to get this. This currently retails for $14 US, $24.95 Australian dollars, and 15 UK pounds, and it is available at Priceline here in Australia. This is the box that it comes in. It just says NYX Can't Stop Won't Stop primer. When I swatched it on that day that we were doing the play dates with makeup or whatever, I was shocked at how matte the primer was in the back of my hand. I was shocked, but anyway, this is what the primer itself looks like. It comes in this 30ml tube, and it's a squeezy tube. It has a cap on it, like a regular squeezy tube, kind of like a toothpaste tube. Actually, it's 25 mils. I apologize. Apply evenly over skin and gently tap to set. Complete the look with your Can't Stop Won't Stop full coverage matte foundation. Well, I ain't got that, so I'm going to use a different kind of foundation today. When matte is a must, this comfortable matte formula preps your complexion for super smooth foundation application. So that's what they wrote on the box, and on the website it says basically the same thing. Everything they're saying about this primer is screaming, this is the primer for oily skin to me, basically. And especially after when I swatched it in the back of my hand, it was so matte, like so matte. It is a very thick consistency. It's a thick paste. It's almost kind of silicone-y, but it's gel. This is what it looks like. Do you see that? It's very thick. It's a very thick paste. So let me apply it in the back of my hand. Like, look at this. Do you see that? And it's very clear as well. So I'm just basically going to go ahead and apply this everywhere, all over my face basically, but I'm going to focus it more on my T-zone area because that's the main place where I produce shine. If you don't know already, I'm of oily combination skin, which means I'm oily in my T-zone area and normal in the outer perimeter of my face. Most of the time, like when I'm using a really matte primer, especially when I'm using a primer that's for oily skin, like the NYX Angel Veil primer, for example, or the Rimmel Stay Matte Mattifying Primer, I will focus that on my T-zone and just use a moisturizing primer in the outer perimeter of my face. You know what I mean? Oh, when you apply this, you wanna rub, you wanna rub it in because it dries real quick. It's like I'm applying Eco Styler gel. No, actually, Eco Styler gel is more smoother. It's like I'm applying the Got To Be gel. The clear. This one right here, I know it's a weird comparison, but it's literally like I'm applying Got To Be gel. Like when you apply, if you're not a black girl, if you're not someone who uses Got To Be gel to apply the wig, you probably don't know what I'm talking about. But you've probably seen this before. So this gel right here, when you apply it, oh my god, when you apply it and then like if you leave it to kind of dry and it gets a little bit tacky and you kind of rub it in a little bit, that's exactly how this feels. And my goodness, my face feels so dry. Like this area right here, oh my gosh. Okay, so I can see that white cast. Do you see this? I didn't notice this at the back of my hand. Interesting. Do you see this? This is a very, very matte primer. Okay, let me just, the set tap to set, I guess. So maybe that's what I was supposed to do. Oh wow. Okay, let me just apply a generous amount on my nose. My face feels like I've sprayed my face with gel. Obviously there's a little bit of concealer left from me cleaning my brows earlier on my face. As you can see, like the primer is clinging to that. So yeah, Let me just rub that off. Oh my gosh, my face feels so dry and constricted. What was this? What is this? Literally, like my face feels so let's see how foundation is gonna apply on top of it. All right, so for foundation, I picked up the Colourpop No Filter foundation. This is what I'm gonna be using. This is in the shade Deep Dark 185. I think I remember this one not being like necessarily matte and whatnot, and kind of like a little bit dewy at the end of the day, I think. Wow. As the primer dries further, the mark continues. I don't know, increases. Do you see this? And you see what my face looks like right now? That's literally what my face feels like. Really like. It's like I applied mask on my face. Oh dear Lord. Okay, let's just go for it. I'm applying the foundation with a sponge. I don't know. It's applying alright on top of it. Maybe because I'm using a beauty sponge and I'm trying to be really careful. I'm using a brush to see. Yeah, same thing. Okay. Okay, so that's good. With brush, it's fine as well. I just want to use a beauty sponge instead, to be honest. Yep, this bandana is going to be dirty by the end of this video, so get used to it. All right, let's go over this nose. Okay. All right, so all my fears are gone. By the way, I'm wearing I don't see any of that white cast of the primer. The foundation didn't cling to it whatsoever, which is good. So that's good. Let me just build up. Okay, so that's good. All right, so what time is it right now? It is currently 11:21. Let's just say 11:20. I've applied the foundation on top of the primer, so we're just gonna set that time and say that's the time we'll finish applying the product on top of the primer, so that way when I come back to you babes at the end of the day, we'll be able to know like how long the primer and whatnot lasts for. We already know how the Colourpop foundation itself works, you know, because I've done a foundation test video on this. It does have a good longevity to it, but it ends up looking a little bit kind of dewy at the end of the day. So I'm really kind of curious to see if the primer is going to eradicate that a bit or even minimize that. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So I'm gonna go ahead and finish the rest of my face. I'm also doing a review of another products that you babes requested for, so I'm kind of filming two videos at the same time. So I'm just gonna go and do the rest of my face with that, and I will be right back. All right, so here is the face all done. I just moved my chair forward so you guys can see my face. All the products I applied on top of the primer looks good, but earlier I could see a little bit of a crust left on the bridge of my nose right here. I mean, not bridge of my nose, the side of my nose right here, but I just had to basically flick it off and it was golden, you know. But aside from that, everything looks good. Generally, I start producing shine about 4 hours later, so we're gonna see how long this is gonna last. Without further ado, I'll see you babes real soon. Hey FamBam, I am back, and right now it is 8:25, so 2025, so it's been 9 hours and 5 minutes or so, thereabout. Yeah, that's about right. So this is my face is looking like. Guys, babes, FamBam, do you see my face? Like earlier on, if you remember, I told you guys that I was filming 2 videos in one kind of thing, you know. I filmed also like about 3 hours ago, and my face was looking like this, and I can't believe my face is still looking like this. You know, my face still looks really nice and fresh. It looks like I just applied my makeup. Everything is still staying put. I haven't dabbed, I haven't touched up, I haven't blotted, nothing at all whatsoever. So I have no shine whatsoever on the surface, like, and I say on the surface because sometimes it might not be poking through, but it might be underneath. You never know, you know what I mean? You don't really know until you really press in with your blotting paper or whatever. But right now, babes, my face looks really good and still feels really good, you know. The Colourpop foundation on its own, we all know that based on the foundation test I did on that foundation, we know that at the end of the day, my face kind of looks a little bit dewy, especially in the center of my face. But right now, my face doesn't look dewy whatsoever. It just looks really nice and fresh. So this primer is really, really good. I really like it for that purpose. Like you can see, like it's minimized. Actually, it's really stopped any oils from coming through. Wow. Okay. Actually, let me just grab my Minnie Mouse blotting sheet and see if I can actually get anything in my T-zone, because you never know. Pressing. I think it's just a whole, okay, so there's a bit of shine there and a whole lot of transfer. See, that's why I'm saying, like, most of the time you can't really tell unless you blot, you know, or it might be sitting underneath but not showing through the surface. So it looks like it's not, like, that's awesome. I love it. Yep, so we just got a tiny little bit of shine because it's a little bit greasy on the paper, but as you saw earlier, it did, you know, push through the surface. Does that make sense? So I like this primer for that. But and this is a big old but. The main thing that I don't really like about this primer, number one, earlier on you remember that it had that white cast and it kind of had looked a little bit bumpy. It might be my fault because I might have applied way more than I should have. I don't know, I'll try it again. But you know, I just didn't really like the fact that it looked a little bit crusty on my face. And there's some parts like where I'm applying the foundation and it kind of applied and I had a little bit of the crustiness after I've applied my foundation earlier on. So that's my main qualm about it. And also, like, if you kind of go in to inspect, you can see that the foundation, you know, is kind of like oh wow, the place where I just blotted, like the foundation is lifted off. But before that, it was already kind of lifting off. Like there was a little bit of a, I don't know, it's almost kind of like a dry patch. I don't know, my face just kind of looks a little bit dry in some areas, even the areas where I generally produce oil, you know. But mainly around my nose area. I remember earlier on, that's where I actually applied more majority of the primer, but it's not uncomfortable. It just appears so, and only appears so when you go closer, you know what I mean? But overall, I don't mind this primer. I would definitely use this primer in combination with my hydrating primers, you know, like I generally do, like put a little bit of it in my T-zone area and use my hydrating primer in the outer perimeter of my face. I would definitely recommend this primer for oily skin. This primer is absolute bomb. I love that. Like, it has totally minimized and like prevented my oils from coming through to the surface. Does that make sense? So I love that for it. And I applied minimal amount of powder when I was setting my concealer earlier on, so it's not even the powder whatsoever, and we know that it's not the foundation. Have you tried this primer before? Let me know what you think of it down below. Share your experience with us because I am really intrigued. I haven't really seen anyone do a dedicated review of this primer, so if you see any other video, let me know, because I really like to know what they think or what they said about this primer. That's all I've got for you babes today. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you found it useful. Today's FamBam shout out is Tay Faces. Did I say your name right? I think I did. Thank you so much for commenting on my video, and I hope the response that I gave you to the question you asked about the Makeup Revolution foundation shade helped you out. Okay, thank you so much for watching babes. Once again, thank you so much FamBam for your support. All right, as always, whatever you're doing, so love yourself, and by God's grace, I'll see you babes in my very next video. Bye. And by the way, I'm sorry if I feel a little bit down. I just got some nails, but anyway, it's okay. So I'm just a bit I can't speak. Let me find the foundation. 1 second. I really do. Anyway, so it's getting hot right now. Wow, I cannot believe it is 8:30 and I look like I just applied my makeup and I'm about to take it off. Oh, by lashes. Ooh, that was actually easier to Jesus. Pray for me.